tabakçı.
Öyle ama mutlu.
Pauloosie, Methuselah, Novik Chiangyak Kusi. The court is coming on Tuesday, Pauloosie. I need you in. Tukasave. Aingat.
The incident occurred almost 2 years ago. It's a small case. Shouldn't give you much trouble.
I gotta start prepping the manslaughter case.
Oh, this will only take a few days. You can take the material up with you.
Okay, what have we got? Assault of a minor. Kid's got a prior record. Is there a medical report? Who's presiding?
Judge Lambert, known to be lenient. And, guess he's prosecuting.
Who?
Metz.
The Daniel Metz?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be kidding.
Mm-hmm. You ready for a rematch?
How can I refuse?
Thank you. Well, well, Gina Antonelli.
Daniel! Always a pleasure to see your bright, shiny face.
You're not still sore about the Zimmer case, are you?
I don't get sore, I get even.
Not on this case. You have read this, haven't you? Porn video, alcohol, bondage, and rape of a minor.
I've read it. Running out of bad guys in Ottawa?
You wish. That's kind of like a busman's holiday. I always wanted to see the high Arctic.
Well, we'll have some fun.
Welcome to my home sweet home. You must be Gina Antonelli. I'm Simon Amateur, court interpreter for you and Mr. Metz.
Nice to meet you.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
I will. So you're probably...
Look, probably the first one you ever met, right?
As a matter of fact, you are.
Well, we're just like you, only completely different.
Do you live in Fortitude Bay?
I don't live there. I was born there. I haven't seen much of the place in 15 years. I live in that urban paradise, Ottawa.
So you with Justice?
Yeah.
You know, there's someone I've been trying to get a hold of.
I don't think I know any of your friends there. I haven't got to know many people there. Can I have another one? You want one?
No, thank you. I gotta get some reading done. I'll catch up with you later.
Sure.
Thank you, David.
Well, well, if it isn't Eskimo Bill.
Danny, I thought you got nosebleeds north of Ottawa.
I expected to see you behind a team of Huskies.
Got caught in a blizzard last week. Had to eat them.
Listen, word has it, you're going to be heading up the new Environmental Commission for
Merci,
Newman.
Judge Lambert. Gina Antonelli.
Oh, glad to meet you, Counsel.
Likewise.
Hi, Simon.
Hi, Judge.
There you go, sir.
Well, I think you'll have to take the next taxi.
Let's go.
Taxi toch aan dingen aan de speelgoedjongen weg te doen.
Hi, Sam. Can we be good?
Upona Pauloosie o kakatigi sa kalinga.
Hey.
O kautigo pigeon nang nalimame o pitsi akulugo.
She says she wants you to do your best to help Pauloosie.
He should not be sent away.
I'll do my best.
Pauloosie Pyongitok, out Laktita Reali.
Pigeon na sa amin sa ulak na tao nga kakakutod.
Best thing for the community is to send Pauloosie away.
Ibi ulak na tao nga kakakutod. Tamani siya kakakutod. Ulak nga kakakutod. Ulak lakit.
Corporal, Gina Antonelli, Defense Counsel. How are you? Where is it that I can find my client?
Well, he's out on the land, hunting.
Hunting?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. I have to meet with him today.
Oh, well, you could go out. He wouldn't be hard to find. Tommy came in last night. He's about our best guide. He'll take you out if you ask him.
Is it possible that you take me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to stay and help Mr. Metz.
Of course. Let's get a drink.
Can't. Town's restricted. Hi.
Well, Simon Hamilton, it's been such a long time. And I suppose you're Madame the Defense.
Yeah.
Come on over here. Put your butt down right in this chair. Take a load off. I'll get you coffee right away. I'm Maggie. We're just having your room made up.
I'm gonna go find Tommy. You wanna leave right away?
The sooner the better, yeah.
See you, Maggie.
See ya.
So, you're the lawyer lady for Pauloosie. Is that right? I'm Big Bob.
I'll agree with that.
So you're going out in the land, eh? Only thing you have to watch out for this time of year, of course, is the bears.
Bears?
Polar bears. It's been a bad year for them. This little baby here. Best defense against bears.
What are you going to do with that?
You open them spam and you drop them behind you while you're running. Spam saved more than a couple lives in this town that way.
Lunch and meat. You guys are good. Real good.
Tommy's here.
Are we going out in this?
Yep.
You gotta be kidding.
No. This is Tommy. Unadina.
Hi. You can't be serious.
Yeah, this is the parka. Overalls. Boots. You sure you want to do this?
Of course.
He says about 3 hours.
Chukta kalagpa tamani akagumi. As we lau to lau beat. Tamani hanit dumi.
Pauloosie! Methuselah! Tamani busy!
Tilu lauri.
Go ahead and go inside.
Go inside, it'll get warm soon.
Where are you going? I'm your defense counsel, Gina Antonelli. I take it Simon is with you?
Hello? You okay?
Finally.
This is Pauloosie,
We met.
and this is Methuselah.
Nice to meet you.
Inuit.
How do I say something in Inuit?
Kanawipit means, how are you?
Kanawipit.
Honoring.
Aningit.
Here, must be hungry.
Thank you.
Bigo. Aga. Huyanami rapa. Bigo. Fumongita haila.
How do I say lawyer in Inuit?
Ahti.
I am a Harki.
There's a white man who lie for you.
That certainly will not be the case.
That's what they've always called you.
So tell them I'm a friend in court.
Iliniki kayo aswata naktu.
does it take to sell your home? Power. A sign everyone knows. One that opens your door to buyers. Power. At Century 21, the best trained agents work hard to get you the best price. Power. The world's largest referral network. When word gets out, your house can sell faster. And only with Century 21 can you earn up to 1,500 air miles travel miles when you buy or sell. List now and get 100 bonus travel miles. Century 21. Don't underestimate the power.
Who's there?
The ghost of burnt-out Christmas lights.
But I don't see you.
Precisely. I'm experiencing technical difficulties.
Well, let's go to Canadian Tire.
They have Christmas lights?
They have everything for the holidays.
Say.
Great prices on housewares. All kinds of gifts.
Wow.
And beautiful decorations.
Very nice.
So, Spirit, what else can I help you with?
Find me another job.
Unhappy?
A little burnt out.
Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa, save like Scrooge.
Quality Music proudly presents one of the finest Christmas albums ever recorded. The world-renowned All-American Boys Chorus create a little Christmas magic. The angelic voices of these youngsters have thrilled audiences all over the world. From traditional Christmas classics to light, lively children's favorites. Experience the All-American Boys Chorus in a little Christmas magic from Quality Music. It's in stores now.
Hotter in July in Georgia. This is Super Country 94, starring Ricky Van Kellen. 16 of the year's best include Mark Chestnut. Ian Tyson's in Super Country. Country's greatest group, Alabama. Doug Stone. Tanya Tucker, McBride of the Ride, Joan Kennedy, and Billy Dee. I'm built to go the distance, solid as a rock. Joe Jiffy. You never know it now. During Super Country with Tracy Bird, The Goods, and young Jim Winters. Sensational Susie Boggess. Jason McCoy's cranking it up. In Super Country 94 from Quality Music. It's in stores now.
Okay, I've gone through the depositions, and there's a few things I'd like to go over with you. First of all, had you had sex with her before?
Kuya Hatalapisi.
And on that evening, was she willing?
He said yes, he believed he had consent until she bit him.
She wasn't kidding.
Inuit girls' teeth are used to raw meat.
Okay, bottom line is, we're dealing with two charges. Sexual intercourse with an underage, which isn't too serious, and sexual assault, which is. But, of course, the onus is on them to prove. Now, for the underage, there's no evidence of penetration or ejaculation, and we have no eyewitness. So we've got a big break. Given that his plea is not guilty, our strategy is we go after the underage first. We keep you off the stand, and it's her unsubstantiated word that it even happened. Without a conviction on the first, I'll have a hard time making the assault charge stick.
He says that Pauloosie mated with the girl. If you're asking him to be silent and not tell the truth, it is a lie.
No. He doesn't understand. The girl is underage. If he admits that, even if she was willing, it's still sexual intercourse with an underage girl. They'll convict him on the minor charge, and then we're wide open for the charge of assault, and to tell you the truth, I'd have a hell of a time getting him off.
Tukisi yung nang inavit. Pauloosie ay pakak na ad na pat ayot no nak sa unyamat. Tigo yaw ti telimana sulu. Datsik tuktu yamat. Sabuti na sutuin na mauk. Upera sugunay livi. Tisa yitu na kama. Tay may luni yanga. It's a big deal here to tell the truth and to be forgiven. He says that you're asking Pauloosie to pretend that these things that happened didn't happen. It's no good.
Who is this guy, and why is he on my case?
Methuselah is a village elder and the best hunter.
You tell him, if he wants me to get the kid off, he should stick to hunting.
Tasuma, kamagignak tangi.
Given me to the victim's family. It's his way to apologize. It's Methuselah's idea.
Is that for me?
Yeah.
You know, just because it's circuit court doesn't mean you have to wear your worst suit.
Know this? That's my lucky suit. I wore this last time I beat you.
Thought I smelled mothballs.
Hi, Joby. How do we peep in our?
Listen, we're prepared to settle for 4 years if your client were to plead guilty.
Is this a joke? This is a waste of taxpayers' money. The kid's gonna walk.
You just made a big mistake.
It's about time.
Maka.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Jean Lambert presiding.
So we're here today to consider the case of the Crown and Pauloosie Tusak.
When the societies of the white man and that of the Inuit first came together, there were many areas of conflict. But one area in which they agreed was that of sexual assault. It was wrong. I intend to prove to the court that the accused broke the laws of Canada, his own people, their customs, their folkways, and he did so knowingly, intentionally, and violently.
Your Honor, the law of Canada, as my learned friend would agree, demands that the charges against my client be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Did intercourse take place? I submit that by the end of this trial, the charges against my client will not be proven. And furthermore, it will be shown that they have been wrongfully laid on the basis of a statement made by a confused and manipulated 14-year-old girl. We seek a full acquittal on all charges. Thank you, Your Honor.
Then I took Natsuk to the nursing station for an examination.
And was there any physical evidence of sexual intercourse?
As the report indicates, no.
No. What did you do then, Corporal?
Well, I went back.
Please refer to your notebook. We need specifics.
I wrote a report, took the girls to the nursing station, returned home with them. I collected evidence at the scene, including video. Dropped off a package at the airport, stopped in at the hotel, and then went to take a statement and arrest Pauloosie.
Let me understand something, Corporal. You allowed a man, possibly a desperate criminal, accused of a brutal crime, a chance to escape while you leisurely went about your errands?
Oh, I didn't think...
Was this not because you had doubts about these charges? You were certain Pauloosie wouldn't try to escape because you believed him to be innocent.
I didn't have an opinion. Look, Pauloosie might have done it. Maybe not. But even if he was Jack the Ripper, there's no place to go.
That'll be all.
Describe for the court what happened the night Corporal Anderchuk had to take young Natsig to the nursing station?
Pauloosie had gone to get some stuff, chips, chocolate bar, and a video, a movie.
And he brought that to Natsig?
Yes. The movie he brought was very strange. There was a man wearing funny leather clothing with belts and zippers. And he tied the woman up and did it to her. We thought it was the way they did it in the South. And then Pauloosie said it might be fun. I went into the kitchen, and that's when he pulled Nuts up into the bedroom and locked the door. I banged on the door, and he wouldn't let me in. So I banged harder, and I yelled.
You were scared?
Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Sustained.
Were you afraid?
Objection.
Sustained.
What happened then, Nuna?
I was afraid for Nutso. I heard them struggling. And I heard Nutso say stop. And then I heard Pauloosie scream. And then he opened the door.
What did you see when the door was unlocked?
They were there. And Nutso was sitting on the bed. She was crying.
How long was it between the time Natsig yelled stop and Paulussie's unlocking of the door?
About 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
No more questions.
Now, Nuna, you've known Pauloosie as long as Natsig has. Is that right?
Yes.
And you told us that Pauloosie was to be Natsig's boyfriend?
Yes.
And when he was her boyfriend, he sometimes slept with her. Is that true?
Yeah, that was before, not anymore.
Okay. When they went into the bedroom, you were in the kitchen?
Yeah.
So you didn't actually see them go in. How would you know if he pulled her in or if she went in voluntarily?
She told me.
She told you?
Yes, he made her go into the bedroom and he did it to her.
She told you. When you got to the door, it was closed, correct?
Yeah, but I know they were...
So you didn't actually see them, did you?
I know they were doing it.
How do you know when the door is closed, you cannot see through the door? You don't know, do you?
Yes.
Yes?
No. I don't know.
Isn't it true you were once Pauloose's girlfriend?
Yeah, so?
Well, the fact is, when Natsik was Pauloose's girlfriend, you were jealous.
No.
You weren't?
No, he's too old for her.
But not too old for you.
No.
That'll be all, Your Honor.
Introducing softness you can feel, plus body you can see. Now softness and body come together with new Finesse. Enriched with 2 natural moisturizers, Finesse shampoos and conditioners add softness and build body. For hair that looks and feels twice as beautiful, feel the difference with new Finesse.
This is CLR. Clear. An amazing product that instantly dissolves calcium and lime stains that you can't scrub away. Watch as CLR dissolves the hard water scales from this humidifier filter. Have you ever seen anything like it? No amount of scrubbing was able to remove the stains from this coffee decanter. But a little CLR and water gets it crystal clean instantly. Watch how Clear wipes away hard water film from tile. Makes shower doors shine crystal clear. CLR instantly removes unsightly rust stains from your bathtub, sink, and toilet bowl. And nothing cleans your coffee maker, steam iron, tea kettle, or pots and pans faster or better. Get CLR. It will work for you or your money back.
Available at participating Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, Kmart, Safeway, Zellers, Pro Hardware, True Value Hardware, Beaver Lumber, Co-op stores.
Awaken to tranquility. Tranquility, Volume 2, Awakenings. A collection of beautiful music by Henny Becker. Relax with over 1 hour of music. Tranquility, Volume 2, Awakenings. Tranquility, Volume 2, Awakenings, and Volume 1 are both available at Eaton's and Music World.
You have high hopes for your future, but you have obstacles to overcome. You need a plan. Because when you have a plan, you can work with what you have to build for the future you want, knowing it is possible. Call for your book of possibilities from Bank of Montreal, because with a plan, you can succeed.
With the court's permission, I would now like to screen the video found at the house.
Your Honor, this videotape is more prejudicial than probative. I object it to being used as evidence.
I mean to show through the images of this film a direct causal link to motive, the escalation of an irresistible lust that drove the accused to this crime.
Proceed, Mr. Metz. The tape will be accepted and given appropriate weight.
Thank you, Your Honor. you, Your Honor. That's all I wish to submit.
Okay, Matzik. Now you take your time, huh? There's nothing to worry about.
Matzik, did Pauloosie bring to you and show you the sex video?
Yes.
Did he take you into the bedroom?
Yes, he took me to the bedroom.
Did he tie your hands and feet to the bed?
Yes, yes, my hands.
Did he take off your clothes?
My clothes? Yes.
Did he penetrate you?
Boulevard.
Yes.
When you told him to stop, did he stop?
Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Your Honor, I request a little leeway with this witness.
You may rephrase.
When he didn't stop, what did you say?
Objection.
Move along, Consul.
What happened then, Nazi?
I told him to stop. I struggled and yelled. Then finally I bit him. Then he stopped.
I wonder if your teeth weren't so sharp if he would have stopped at all. No further questions, Your Honor.
Miss Antonelli, you're cross.
When Pauloosie came to your house that night, were you scared?
No.
No. And when you were watching the film?
No.
And when he took you into the bedroom?
No.
You were scared, however, when Nuna was pounding on the door, weren't you?
Yes, I was scared. Nuna said she'd tell. She yelled at Pauloosie to stop, but he wouldn't.
So you weren't scared of Pauloosie, you were scared that Nuna would tell, right?
I was scared.
Then Nuna came into the room, and you started to cry. You started to cry because she was yelling and not because of Pauloosie, isn't that so?
I don't know, I was crying.
Nuna was very angry with you, right?
Yes, she was angry.
She was angry with you and not with Pauloosie, isn't that so?
I don't know, she was angry at Pauloosie.
Pauloosie was your boyfriend. You had slept with him on occasion before, isn't that right?
Before? Yes.
Didn't you want to sleep with him this night, too?
I told him to stop.
Pauloosie didn't assault you, did he?
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is asking this witness for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
I suggest to you were just playing out what you saw in the video. And it was only a game. A game that could send this boy to prison. Isn't that so?
I don't know, I don't know.
I think you've made your point, Counselor.
Thank you.
I'd like to remind you you're not before some jury in the federal court building. Let's take a break. We'll reconvene at 3 p.m.
Things are looking very good. Metz doesn't have a chance.
It's
I'm surprised those girls didn't embellish her stories a little more.
because they don't lie.
This afternoon should go quickly. What are you going to do after this?
You don't miss a beat, do you?
Pauloosie, Saluni, Trisivi.
There's nothing like plastic wrap to keep food fresh. Flimsy, tangled up, hard-to-store plastic wrap boxes can drive you crazy. But not anymore, because now there's the EnviroSystem Easy Wrap 1000. Easy Wrap 1000 is the easiest, most convenient way to handle plastic wrap. Its attractive, space-saving design mounts easily under any cabinet, against the wall, or sits on your counter. Easy Wrap 1000 hands-free operation makes it easy to get just the right amount of plastic wrap you need, so you waste less and you'll never have to search for the end again. Easy Wrap 1000 always leaves the perfect amount of wrap to grasp, and is designed so standard rolls of wrap will fit. However, Easy Wrap 1000 foot refill uses 90% less packaging, equal to all this a $30 value. You'll save up to 50% off the cost of plastic wrap. The savings of the wrap will pay for the dispenser repeatedly. The wrap is premium quality, perfect in the microwave, refrigerator, or freezer.
Available at Pro Hardware, Zellers, True Value Hardware, Co-op Value Master, Home Hardware, PV Mart, Canadian Tire, Consumers Distributing, Kmart, and Wise People.
There's a boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. I'm a man of means, by no means, king of the road.
The moral of the story is, the copper top tops them all.
Ah, yeah, king of the road.
Fisher-Price Flip Track Rail and Road is a whole transportation system in one. On one side, it's a complete train set. On the other side, it's a roadway set. Or mix the two and make more combinations than you can keep track of. Because kids will be kids, we make a tape recorder that plays as hard as they do. The Fisher-Price tape recorder, built to take it and take it and take it. Batteries and cassette not included.
The world's greatest sports sedans all have backbones that are extremely stiff for tight, responsive handling. The new Chrysler Cirrus is the only one that combines advanced cab-forward design with unique rail-through construction to create one of the most rigid sports sedans ever built. And this is where that becomes more than just engineering jargon.
The new Chrysler Cirrus. Luxury has never been easier to get into.
New Fisher-Price Vanity, take one.
Introducing the one and only Fisher-Price dress-up vanity. Because being a kid is always in vogue. Some accessories sold separately.
Miss Antonelli.
I began by saying that the prosecution cannot prove their case, and that is precisely where we end.
He wants to testify.
I'd like a moment with my client, Your Honor.
No, your client doesn't want to talk to you, Miss Antonelli. Kaigi, Pauloosie.
I object to this, Your Honor.
Overruled.
She doesn't have
Overruled, counsel. Manna, Pauloosie.
He thought they'd just have sex like before. He thought she wanted to.
Mr. Tusek, it has been testified that you tied up Metzig's hands.
Yes.
Did you take off her pants?
Yes.
So did you put yourself inside her?
Correct.
And when she asked you to stop, did you stop? Did you stop?
No.
No. In fact, she first told you to stop, and then she yelled at you, and then she struggled with you, and then she finally had to bite your shoulder to make you stop, correct?
Correct.
No further questions, Your Honor?
Your Honor, may I now have 5 minutes with my client? Now, I don't know what the old man's been saying to you, but you better start listening to me. Offering to testify was a stupid thing to do, okay? Now, by sabotaging my efforts, there's a good chance that you're going to jail because you've given them grounds for assault. Now, would you mind explaining to me what you thought you were doing?
Kanwi makakalit. He said he had to tell the truth. The truth here makes you who you are. Lies kill you.
Yes, I've heard that.
Ikayo tayo na ilibutili. Tikuyaw unyaletuti. You know, I am having a really hard time explaining to them why you have the need for lie and deception anyway.
Your Honor, we are not here because a 17-year-old boy had sex with a 14-year-old girl. Of this minor charge of sexual intercourse with a girl underage, my client is guilty, and he has admitted this. But now onto the much more serious charge of sexual assault, sex without consent. From the testimonies we've heard this morning, it's been established that Nazi and Pauloosie have had a past sexual relationship. This fact, together with Nazi's willingness to enter the bedroom, gave Pauloosie no reason to believe that she was any less willing to have sex on this occasion than she had been in the past. He believed she consented to being tied up, to being undressed, and lastly, to having sex. Even if in her mind she did not consent, in the mind of my client, she did. Your Honor, I refer to the Crown versus Papa John when mistake of fact was used as a legal principle and a strong defense. The man honestly and reasonably believed he had consent, even if he did not. I submit that my client did not have a guilty mind, the mens rea that is essential for conviction of this offense. It is on this basis that I ask my client be acquitted.
Your Honor, my learned friend has chosen to anchor her defense on the Papa John ruling that if the accused is not guilty in his own mind, then he is not culpable and should therefore be found not guilty under the law. And I commend her efforts. However, in that same case, Papa John, it was also ruled that a person in the state of bondage is in no position to consent or not to consent to anything.
It was never so
It was
ruled.
implicit in the finding you have no defense post-bondage.
There was no such principle
explicit
set,
foundation
but the
is
explicit
clearly
finding
laid
of
out in Papa John
regarding the
concerning
state of
consent and
proof,
bondage,
my client
which
is
further
guilty.
proves
Thank you, counsel. Thank you, Crown. In future, counsels will both direct their arguments in proper turn to the bench. Now I have your points. Please sit. Pauloosie, stand up, please. In our country, under our laws, even a few moments of forced intercourse without consent, is a serious crime. Even if I believed you that the girl changed her mind, it's her right to do so still. It's also true that if the accused honestly and reasonably believed he had consent at this point, a mistake of fact may be established, and this may be an acceptable defense. But I go further, and I find it is implicitly accepted in the Papa John finding, and it's accepted explicitly by that from the moment Pauloosie tied Natsik's arms, she was incapable of giving consent, and on this basis I must find there was no consent given. It's not reasonable on these facts for him to hold an honest belief he had consent. I therefore must find and do the accused Pauloosie Tusak guilty of sexual assault.
Given the finding of the court, Your Honor, I request that the accused be held in custody pending sentencing.
So ordered. Corporal, you'll secure Mr. Tusak in the RCMP lockup. We'll reconvene tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the sentencing hearing, character witnesses, final addresses, and sentencing. Thank you all.
All rise.
Listen, because I'm a nice guy, the offer still stands. We'll agree to a joint recommendation of 4 years.
2 years less a day, it's a deal.
You just don't get it, do you? I need to send a message with this sentence. I need penitentiary time. Crown's recommendation will now be 6 years.
It's a kid. That's absurd.
I don't think so. The max is 10.
The ultimate thrill. The ultimate deal. The ultimate...
Naalala ko ng itutik.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I hope you are well.
Did I hear you speak English?
Yes, I speak sometimes, but it makes my head hurt.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm sorry we lost.
Lost? Lost what?
The trial. Susie was found guilty.
But he is guilty. Everyone knows this. That is why I told him to speak on chair.
If you don't mind my saying so, sir, I don't think that was a particularly wise thing to do.
I'm sorry you are upset, but it was best for Pauloosie.
What do you mean, best for Pauloosie?
Aye, Elizabeth, aye. Tonight is church meeting. Join me.
Oh, 65.
Bingo!
So now, important part. What will court do to help Pauloosie?
Help him? Help him what?
Help him find Naklik Tigirnik. It is in English like harmony.
What the court will probably do is send him to prison for 2 to 6 years.
No, he must not go to prison. Prison means death. He must stay in community. We lost too many.
Well, you have my empathy.
It is your job to keep him here. He will have rehab.
Rehabilitation. And what sort of rehabilitation do you propose?
Hunting. Again to find his fatigue.
Hunting. I don't know how that'll sit with the court, sir.
You let me talk on chair tomorrow.
What do you think we'll accomplish?
I am what you have left.
Enough in there for me? Thank you. This is earned. Methuselah wants me to put him on the stand. My client admits that he raped a girl, and this guy thinks he can convince the court that his punishment should be a couple of field trips hunting for something.
Is that Dick?
Huh?
At birth, a baby is given the soul of a dead relative. That soul helps the child learn to speak to the animal spirits.
What?
For a hunting culture. Those that learn to commune with the spirits were the ones that were able to survive, find the animals and eat. You see, we've evolved natural selection as a highly tuned race of mystics.
No kidding, they're mystics. Methuselah's dreaming if he thinks Pauloosie isn't going to jail.
Look, we believe it. It is the Inuit religion. It's much older than any of yours.
You gotta admit it.
Look, just who the hell do you think you are? You're a southerner just like the rest of them. You don't know what the hell's going on up here. Well, screw you. Screw you all. We don't need you here.
Simon? Simon, look, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to offend you. Do you believe in those spirits?
Do you believe in them?
I did. When I was a boy, I heard them. I had dreams about them. I was just beginning my instructions in the hunt when I was taken south.
What do you mean taken south?
I got sick and went to Edmonton. My whole world changed. I was happy with my new life. It was exciting. I educated myself. But my family wanted me back. But it was too late. So we fought and I left.
Are you glad you left?
I've been gone for so long that maybe I quit listening. But I think my Atik forgot about me. Just do what you came up here to do. And don't let Pauloosie leave. Because if he leaves, he'll die. Help him.
To what do I owe this honor?
Actually, I'd like to apologize for my behavior after the verdict. I was a little harsh.
Where'd you find that?
Be prepared. Always.
So, Metz, why didn't the shark eat the lawyer?
Professional courtesy. Look, I hope you're not taking old Methuselah's sentencing ideas too seriously. It sounds good, but it doesn't work. Especially in a case like this. There's no deterrent. There's no protection for the girls. We leave him up here as if nothing happened. I guarantee he'll reoffend. And I think Lambert's on my side with this. Last year, he was reprimanded a couple of times for his alternative sentencing. I think he sent some guy out on the ice to meditate for a few weeks. Zero tolerance, mandatory sentences, that's what they're calling for in Ottawa. And he knows that if he keeps up with this sort of stuff, he could end up in the traffic court on the guest bay. But I'm a reasonable guy.
4 years still stands?
Don't sleep on it. Jean, you mind if I get in there and give my mug a rinse?
No, please, Dan.
Thanks.
Lots of room.
I see why you enjoy it up here.
I do. Love the work. Love the people.
Got a nice niche for yourself. Thought of running for office?
What a marvelous way to ruin a good thing.
Wouldn't want to do that, would you?
Hello? Yes, it is. Oh, sure, I'd love to save on my long-distance calls. Listen, I have a cottage about an hour out of town. Oh, you only service major centers. Certain conditions, I have to pay a sign-up fee? Really? Well, I appreciate the call, but I think I'll stay with AGT. They have everything I need.
Worried about wrinkles? Then use the cream found in a study conducted by a leading consumer publication in France to be one of the most effective and least expensive. Yes, that's right. Nivea Visage Anti-Wrinkle Cream was found to be among the most effective ways to fight wrinkles. Conduct your own study and see for yourself. Nivea Visage Anti-Wrinkle Cream.
Maybe I'm only 3 years old, but even I can handle this Fisher-Price radio control racer. But before you know it, I'll need a car that's even hotter. Then I'll crank this baby into high gear and let her rip. Jimmy, time for bed. So much for life in the fast lane.
The 2-speed radio control racer from Fisher-Price. Batteries not included.
Meatballs, My American Cousin. I've heard the mermaids singing, Jesus of Montreal, Black Robe, Naked Lunch, all award-winning Canadian films, and I wasn't in any of them. Join us for the 15th Annual Genie Awards. The best is yet to come. Isn't that right?
Action. This week, the Country Beat visits the set of the hit CBC drama North of 60. We'll have interviews with Susan Aglucart, Robbie Robertson, Peter Rowan, and Tom Jackson. Don't miss it.
The Country Beat, tonight on CBC.
Don't let the parade pass you by when the Citadel Theater presents The Music Man, winner of the Tony Award for Best Musical, Best Score, Best Book. What a show, what a hit.
Remarkable.
A marvelous show.
One of the best musical comedies of our time.
You're magic. You better run for tickets. The Music Man, starring Albert Schultz from the hit TV series Street Legal and Side Effects. The Music Man opens November 27th at the Citadel. Call 425-1820.
It's our job to expose wrongdoing.
The CBC Alberta News I-Team. Award-winning journalism. If you know of wrongdoing, call the I-Team. 1-800-I-TEAM-TV.
If there's something we should know about, give us a call.
Energy, harmony, strength. Witness the power of Cashton. Coming December 14th, the Jubilee Auditorium. Presented by CBC Television and Radio in Edmonton and the Edmonton Journal. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Rita and Friends, starring Rita McNeil. With her guests, George Fox, Michael Burgess, Sue Medley, Wild Strawberries, and the Irish Descendants. Rita and Friends, Friday night at 8 on CBC.
Kurt Browning, burning up the ice. The world's top skaters like you've never seen them before. Daring, dynamic, unforgettable. Kurt Browning. You must remember this, Sunday, December 11th.
Petzeluk, you are the director of the Social Services Committee here in Fortitude Bay, and you were born here, correct?
Yes.
And you have acted as the probation counselor to Pauloosie since his first offense, correct?
That's correct.
This is an official assessment report about Pauloosie written and put before the court by you, correct?
Yes.
And in it, you strongly recommend leniency in the sentencing, correct?
Yes.
Tell me something. Do you anywhere in that report reveal the fact that you, Susan Pitzeluk, are the cousin of Pauloosie Tusek?
No.
Do you not think the court would be interested in the extreme bias this document would represent, this conflict of interest?
I do not hide it.
Did you imagine that the recommendations by a close family member would possibly be acceptable in a court of law? Your witness.
Your Honor, I'd like to address the court. Of all you present, how many of you are related to Pauloosie Tusek?
Katsiula Pauloosie Milalit.
That'll be all.
He stole from me not once, but many times. I gave him chances, but he is no good.
In your opinion, what course of action should the court employ with regards to Pauloosie?
He doesn't belong here. Send him away. It's best for the community.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor?
Miss Antonelli.
Mr. Samisa, you strike me as a progressive man. You don't fear the influences of the South, be it videos, satellite television, so on.
The town wants them.
What about alcohol? Isn't it true that for 4 years you've been lobbying to lift the restricted ruling on alcohol that has been opposed by the Inuit?
Yes, not restricted, but controlled.
And who would control it? You? You call yourself Inuk. You not go hunting for many, many years.
I'm a businessman.
Please, gentlemen.
The town wants to join the 20th century, and the town wants policy sent away.
Mr. Amatuk, you're a member of the Inuit, or Elder Council of the town. Would you mind explaining to the court what the Inuit thought about the incident?
If fire burns down a house, it is not the fire's fault. Paulusi's bad behavior our fault. He should have been out hunting, not sit at home watching silly movie and drinking beer. Bothering girls.
And what did the Inamera do when this trouble was reported?
We sit Pauloosie down in room, tell him he's very wrong, tying up girls, causing trouble. When he first questioned, he lied. It's very bad for him to lie to us. He go for a few months with me out on the land. He does not lie now.
Would you say that Pauloosie Tusuk is on his way to being rehabilitated?
Yes.
And do you think Pauloosie should be taken away?
No.
No further questions.
Mr. Amatuk, Pauloosie was not on trial for telling lies or causing trouble. You do understand that. It was proven that Pauloosie sexually assaulted young Nancy. And under the law, he must be punished.
No.
No?
No punishment. More important to remake Naglik Tikirni. Harmony. Pauloosie broke law of harmony in community. We counseled him about all his bad behavior.
Well, I'm sure this court appreciates your efforts, but unfortunately, they've come to Pauloosie a bit late.
We not give up. And Pauloosie apologizes to girl and girl's family. Gives meat to girl and girl's family and to community.
Well, once again, I think that's a very interesting form of victim compensation, but under the law, given the nature of the crime, imprisonment is the only...
That is white law. We believe jail to be too easy. No work, lots of food, always warm, television, better to search for Naglik Tigirnik in world and in himself.
Have you ever been to prison, Mr. Amatuk?
No, I am hunter. Your court should tell Pauloosie he must go hunting.
Thank you, Mr. Amatuk. No more questions. You can leave the stand.
Not so fast, Mr. Metz. Please continue.
Paulussie's father dead years ago. No one to teach him. And he no longer heard the spirits of the land. An Inuk who does not hunt is no longer Inuk. Pauloosie must lead the life of a man that tests the inner strength and courage to confront the old dangers and the old spirits, and not the false spirits of a television. You white people are an unhappy people. You have forgotten the traditional way of life, to care for one another in the place you live. You give your problems to strangers, like this court. You know nothing of Pauloosie. The woman, she knows nothing of Pauloosie. But we have known Pauloosie all his life.
Thank you, Mr. Amatuk. Thank you very much. You may leave the chair. We'll proceed with the final summations.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the capital of the wonderful land of Canadian cheese. On your left is the fabulous Fontina Fountain. Note its watermelon brochettes. And here it comes, the magnificent Monterey Jack Monument. And our national garden alive with fresh Colby and blue cheese. Finally, we have the Golden Gouda Palace. Don't forget our delicious cheeses at our souvenir shop.
Welcome to the land of Canadian cheese.
One person buys a car. Call it a fluke. A couple of people buy the same car. Maybe they're friends. A few hundred people buy it. Could have been a sale or something. But when over 300,000 people buy the same car, it's more than a coincidence. It's a success. The 1995 Altima from Nissan. Now available for $299 a month.
New Fisher-Price Vanity, take one.
Introducing the one and only Fisher-Price dress-up vanity. Because being a kid is always in vogue. Some accessories sold separately.
A cinematic tribute featuring the world's top skaters. Kurt Browning. Burning up the ice. Daring. Dynamic. With Jose Chouinard. Christy Yamaguchi. Browning at his best. An all-star skating special. You must remember this on CBC. Sunday, December 11th.
The personal computer connected to the information highway promises home shopping, movies on demand, and masses of information. But how much of this data is meaningful?
I think information has become a form of garbage now.
You know, it is possible to have too much information. That's something that I call data glut.
Watch Highway to Siberia, Thursday on The Nature of Things with David Suzuki.
Get ready for back-to-back mayhem on CBC, Mondays.
His time's up.
Get him now!
Boom chaka-laka-laka, boom chaka-laka-laka.
I'm not wimping out, all right? Is you up to speed? Don't be a schmuck. No.
Parliamentary channel plagued by 0 rating.
And we're twins.
That's good television.
Back-to-back off-the-wall television starting at 7:30 Mondays on CBC.
I'm Wendy Mesley. Tonight on Sunday Report, a look at how Lucien Bouchard's remarkable recovery is rallying his supporters in Quebec. That's tonight on Sunday Report.
Kapow! It's the Battle of the Titans, slugging it out in the video game business.
The game business is hit-driven. It's just like the movie business.
Mortal Kombat, tonight on Venture, right after Sunday Report.
Mr. Metz, your summation, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Pauloosie has been convicted of the crimes of intercourse with a minor and of sexual assault. No. He has broken the laws of Canada, his own people, their customs, their folkways, and he has done so knowingly, intentionally, and publicly.
All right, court of truth until after the hunt.
Your Honor, but of narwhal has been cited. It means half the food for a year.
Returning for a hunt?
Oh, yes, it's my policy. Migrating whale, narwhal, and caribou take precedence. You should come with us and see.
Yes, something to tell your grandchildren.
Are you going?
No, you go ahead.
We're going. Not to miss this for the world.
Go.
See you then.
Bye.
Atay! Tungkol bata, tungkol. Ima! Atay! Atay! Ang siya mo akin tayo ba? Simon, veel zeggen. Aan dit toch wel weg. Mama ko na rin. Una kayo sa siway. Kahit siway. Nanuado. Nanuado. Nanuado! Nanuado. Simon! Hold on to Jamala! Simon! Simon! Mama, no.
Simon, hurry!
Hold up, dog, when I need dog! I'll get you now, Simon! Hold on to Jamala! Jose! The quick go! Yeah! It's so very!
Tome, tome!
Suso mo na! Tome na, magkitabak niya! Pagka! Ilaw mo nga, imini!
Introducing softness you can feel plus body you can see. Now softness and body come together with new Finesse. Enriched with 2 natural moisturizers, Finesse shampoos and conditioners add softness and build body. For hair that looks and feels twice as beautiful, feel the difference with new Finesse.
Who's there?
The ghost of burnt-out Christmas lights.
But I don't see
you.
Precisely. I'm experiencing technical difficulties.
Well, let's go to Canadian Tire.
They have Christmas lights?
They have everything for the holidays.
Say.
Great prices on housewares. All kinds of gifts.
Wow.
And beautiful decorations.
Very nice.
So, Spirit, what else can I help you with?
Find me another job.
Unhappy?
A little burnt out.
Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa, save like Scrooge.
Honor of July in Georgia. This is Super Country 94, starring Ricky Van Tellen. 16 of the year's best include Mark Chestnut. Ian Tyson's in Super Country. Country's greatest group, Alabama. Doug Stone. Tanya Tucker, McBride of the Ride, Joan Kennedy, and Billy Dean. I'm built to go the distance, solid as a rock. Joe Jiffy. You never know it now. You're in Super Country with Tracy Bird, The Goods, and young Jim Winters. Sensational Susie Boggins. Jason McCoy's cranking it up. In Super Country 94 from Quality Music. It's in stores now. Check the heartbeat of the music on Heart of the Country, a hot new release starring Rodney Crowell. Bright new stars Cassandra Vassix, Mark Colley, and Susie Boggins. Sensational Tracy Bird. Someone to give my love to. Steve Warner, Tanya Tucker, and One Horse Blues. Jason McCoy. Swinging from the heart. Don't take it from him. Take it from me. This one's hot. All it takes is a tender moments from Leroy Parnell and Billy Dean. Reach out and touch the heart of Doug Stone. A Don Gibson classic. From Mark Chestnut. Sensational Larry Stewart. 18 golden tracks leading straight to the heart of the country. From Quality Music, it's in stores now.
Meatballs, My American Cousin. I've heard the Mermaids singing, Jesus of Montreal, Black Robe, Naked Lunch, all award-winning Canadian films, and I wasn't in any of them. Join us for the 15th Annual Genie Awards. The best is yet to come. Isn't that right?
Friday.
Why do you want to leave?
Because I make a better plastic surgeon. I am aware that you've blocked me before. Get out of my arms. Why should one little indiscretion ruin my entire career?
You got yourself into this mess. Now you can get yourself out of it.
Side Effects, Friday at 9.
They thank him for the meat and the gifts that he brought. Rachel is asking if anyone thinks that Pauloosie should be sent away. He thought everyone wanted to send him away. Methuselah says you are a hunter now, and there's no more lying. The rescue of Tommy, Apak, and the woman was a great end. The spirit of Yah is in you, and once again, you are amongst us. Good for some mata.
Yeah.
Lucy? Hi. I
couldn't find Simon. And I just wanted to thank you for saving my life today.
Maybe we don't need Simon.
You speak English?
Some. Well, Methuselah told me not to. He said it was a problem.
I won't keep you from your friend.
Friend? This is my wife. And that's my son.
I didn't know. You should have told me you have a family now.
Do you think I'll go to jail tomorrow?
Well, it's hard to say.
Maybe jail's not so bad, you know? I've got a TV, I've got a bed, and, you know, if anybody tries to beat me up, I've got my knife and I'll just kill him. I don't want to be like Simon. He's lost.
What does that mean?
That's the way it is. It happens to anyone who leaves here for long.
Why do you suppose he did it?
I don't know.
Your community, how could they stand there as though they cared for him?
They cared. They mourned the boy Simon was. Not the man who died last night. Simon died years ago when white men took him away.
Hello? Yes, it is. Oh, sure, I'd love to save on my long-distance calls. Listen, I have a cottage about an hour out of town. Oh, you only service major centers. Certain conditions, I have to pay a sign-up fee? Really? Well, I appreciate the call, but I think I'll stay with AGT. They have everything I need.
Is CLR. Clear. An amazing product that instantly dissolves calcium and lime stains that you can't scrub away. Watch as CLR dissolves the hard water scales from this humidifier filter. Have you ever seen anything like it? No amount of scrubbing was able to remove the stains from this coffee decanter. But a little CLR and water gets it crystal clean instantly. Watch how Clear wipes away hard water film from tile. Makes shower doors shine crystal clear. CLR instantly removes unsightly rust stains from your bathtub, sink, and toilet bowl. And nothing cleans your coffee maker, steam iron, tea kettle, or pots and pans faster or better. Get CLR. It will work for you or your money back.
Available at participating Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, Kmart, Safeway, Zellers, Pro Hardware, True Value Hardware, Beaver Lumber, Co-op stores.
Awaken to tranquility. Tranquility, Volume 2, Awakenings. A collection of beautiful music by Henny Becker. Relax with over 1 hour of music. Tranquility, Volume 2, Awakenings. Tranquility, Volume 2, Awakenings, and Volume 1 are both available at Eaton's and Music World.
Polytel presents the Ultimate Kenny Rogers Collection. This is the best of Kenny Rogers. A double CD featuring 24 of his greatest hits. Spanning more than 25 years of Kenny's classics. Including hits like She Believes in Me and Lady. The best of Kenny Rogers from Polytel on cassette or double CD and in stores now.
Kapow! It's the Battle of the Titans. Slugging it out in the video game business.
The game business is hit-driven. It's just like the movie business.
Mortal Kombat, tonight on Venture, right after Sunday Report.
Rita and Friends, starring Rita McNeil, with her guests George Fox, Michael Burgess, Sue Medley, Wild Strawberries, and the Irish Descendants. Rita and Friends, Friday night at 8 on CBC.
We reconvene in an hour. The truth is, Joe, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with this.
What do you mean?
Well, it looks like the kid's going to get sent away for 4 years.
That's not bad time, Gina. Come on, you did your best. Look, I've got somebody else on the other line here.
Prison is different for these people, Joe. Suppose I go after an alternative sentence. You know, maybe the kid could stay in his community or something.
Gina, listen.
What do you think Metz is doing up there?
This government is running on a law and order platform, and this case is their example. And, you know, they're sending Judge Lambert a message about his lenient sentencing, so don't get involved. Gina, you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
The purpose of sentencing is first to act as a deterrent, to invoke a simple fear of punishment so that he and others never do anything like this again. And secondly, just as important, to respect the rights and the protection of the victim. Now, I'm very, very impressed by the interest the community has shown and of their offer to guide and counsel Pauloosie. But we must not let these good intentions get in the way of the law. Our courts are the great leveler. Now, this concept of equality is not something we've come up with over the last few years. The principle of a general, abstract, and equal system of justice is our legacy from 400 years of British law. It is one of the crowning achievements of us as a race. And to question this first sacred tenet not only brings the entire administration of justice into disrepute, it is tampering with the very foundations of our civilization. However, if this is what the Inuits seek, then I submit it is not for us to decide here in the courtroom. It's a matter for Parliament. If this conviction occurred in Red Deer, Montreal, St. John's, what would the sentence be? Keeping in mind the age of the victim, the criminal record of the accused, and the violent nature of the crime, the Crown recommends a minimum consideration, 7 years in penitentiary. Thank you.
Your Honor, it is the position of the defense that my client has shown remorse and a desire to reform. He has apologized both to the victim and her family. There was no apparent injury to not seek, nor was there any evidence that she was particularly traumatized. I should therefore request the minimum incarceration of 2 years. I should, but I am not going to, because these people have lost too many. Your Honor, a penitentiary term would destroy this man's life. His new son wouldn't know him, and I don't know what would become of his wife. But I guarantee you, a prison term would render this man a social cripple. Mr. Metz spoke with great respect and affection for our Canadian justice system. A respect and affection I share. But we have brought this system, this young, inflexible system, to these ancient people to judge them. We've imposed our laws on a society whose foundation rests on two principles that do not exist in any of our law books, those of tolerance and forgiveness. He then goes on to speak of the demand for equal treatment. But equality is not a pure abstraction. 7 years incarceration of an Inuk man is not the same as 7 years incarceration of a white man. It is not equal. He goes on to suggest if the Inuit want to change the system, it is a matter for Parliament. Well, let me ask you this. Just how much representation do the Inuits have in Parliament? Your Honor, what you have, perhaps our only humane tool, is a vast amount of discretion. You have the freedom in your wisdom to structure an appropriate and fit sentence untethered by guidelines, status quo, or external pressures. The Inuit system of justice is one based on the essence of reconciliation and harmony. Something I believe we can learn from. Don't send Pauloosie to prison. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. The court has heard the both skillful and passionate summations of the prosecution and the defense. It's above all else important, beyond these high-flown discussions, that everyone realize the severity of this crime. A woman has the right to say no, and the right to change her mind, and the use of violence, any amount of violence, is totally unacceptable and cannot be tolerated. Is 7 years in penitentiary for an Inuk equal to 7 years for a white man? Perhaps this is a question for Parliament, but Pauloosie does not have 100 years. And as defense argues, the equalization process must be a discretionary process of the courts, here and now. And discretion is the second sacred tenet of our system. I therefore sentence Pauloosie to 4 months in jail to be served on weekends here in Fortitude Bay RCMP lockup. 300 hours of community service while providing meat for the community. And counseling with the Inumari every 2 weeks for another year. Now, Pauloosie, if you get into trouble again, you'll be hurting the credibility of the Inumari and hurting your community as a whole. Court adjourned. All right.
Thanks for all the things you've done for me.
You made it easy.
Simon told you wrong. Bhakti means one who will speak for you, and you have spoken well.
How do you say goodbye in Inuktitut?
Tabavti. But it makes us sad.
Tabavti.
I'm Wendy Mesley. Sunday Report brings you the news, today's top stories, and tomorrow's headlines. Next on CBC.